Acceleration taking on Genesis in the Novice League. Should be another great matchup. I'm super excited for it. And I'm joined by my good friend Merely. How you doing? that does appear to be a struggle right there. Just a little bit. Well, that's good. Besides the game broken, that's good that you're feeling good. This should be a good matchup here. Genesis coming into this matchup 3-0, undefeated, and Acceleration. They're sitting at 2-1 as well, tied for the lead in their division. So this should be an interesting matchup for sure. And Merely, what are you looking forward to in this matchup? I just realized it's Rockerman scuffed the stream again. This is actually my first time streaming since season 1, so there's a lot of different things. Sorry about that. Hopefully you guys can hear us now. The comeback kind of scuffed the intro, but that's all right. Hopefully you guys can hear us now. Hopefully the music's not too loud. It should actually be gone now. But there's so many different sources, here. I think I accidentally just muted Merely too, but we fixed that now. so okay, hopefully they can hear Merely now. I think you could have heard it before.
Hopefully.
I was trying to fix it, but anyways, are you in the lobby? Or is Merely back?
Okay.
Oh, he is.
I just got back. We're back.
He's back just in time. All right. So Merely, one final thing. Prediction from you before you get this thing going.
All right, I gotta go with my boys Genesis. You know, same org. Gotta boost them up a little bit as well. I think they have what it takes to take this dub.
All right. Well, we'll just have to see. As I believe we have everyone in here. They should be joining up here. I know a couple of them are silent, so they can't see that. But hopefully the other ones that are in here. Actually, wait. Are we waiting on someone? We might be. Mace is in there. Okay, I was confused. I'm waiting for them to join up here.
Yeah, we shouldn't be waiting on anyone, I don't think. There's 9 people in the lobby.
Let's give him a bump right there. There we go.
There we go.
Mace has got it. They're joining up here. All right, well, here we go. Let's get things going. Merely.
All right, time to get underway. First kickoff, and let's see how this goes. Cool Sock's gonna beat the defender by a mile. Looks like they might have just faked it, actually. Cool Sock's now going off the ceiling. Is this Novice or is this Rival? Ice in my veins with a great follow-up here. Gonna kind of pass to the other team. That's a nice boom, but not really much made out of it. Cool Sock is booming it back. Right now, it's kind of just a little bit back and forth from both teams. Big miss there from Mace, but his teammates there to bail him out. Let's go. And Kiro's not able to find a touch there. Cool Sock's getting back to the net just in case he's got to make a huge save. Here might be his opportunity, but they can't seem to find any actual shots on net. And there's going to be Cool Socks clearing the ball. He finally got his chance to shine. Ice in my veins, clearing the ball all the way downfield. That's just absolutely huge. And so far, we're just seeing a little bit of back and forth here, Rockerman. What do you think these teams need to do to score some goals now? Oh, as that might be actually a huge opportunity. Sorry to cut you off as I was trying to get you to talk, but the question remains.
Yeah, that was a close opportunity. You see Genesis here in the orange really trying to get fire some shots on. They almost had one there, but I believe Acceleration, they're just holding on with their defense right now. I think Genesis has to step up the pace a little bit. Same with Acceleration. As now we're over a minute in. Both these teams kind of trying to find their rhythm in the first game, and so far there's a shot coming in from Mace. A great shot there. He puts it in, and Genesis taking the early lead.
And there it is. Genesis going to take the early lead. A boomer from Mace, but no one really in net to save it. He didn't really have to hit that good of a shot, but, you know, get a little bit of confidence up. That's always going to be nice to help out. And now Acceleration are going to be trailing, not living up to the name. Acceleration, you know, you would expect them to be the fast ones out the gate.
You would expect that with the name, but so far, yeah, actually Genesis has been controlling the pace, but despite the first couple minutes of this game where Acceleration had a lot of pressure, Genesis, they definitely turned it around, and there you see them again as they're back on the offense.
Yeah, and so far it does look like Genesis have found their footing, but now Trenton trying to set something up for his teammate, but they're not going to be able to make much of that. A good pass to Kiros, but I think he ran out of boost before he could get there. And now the ball once again just kind of stuck in the blue half, as there's a huge opportunity. Trenton's going to get a nice touch out, and that's huge. Ice on my veins, actually controlling the ball for a dribble. Not something you see novice players do very often, but that is a very good attempt. A double commit comes out there for acceleration. A nice clear, though, gonna save the day. Mace almost own goalie. The ball's gonna go off his crossbar. And now it looks like it's turned around a little bit. Acceleration is starting to get a little bit of pressure. Just as I say that, though, Mace looked like he was going for the double tap. Couldn't quite get it, though. And a little bit of panic from both teams, I think. It might just be a little bit of nerves. I believe both these teams have been on stream before, though, have they not?
I know Genesis has. I'm not certain about Acceleration, but Genesis has been on stream before. But I do think the nerves still remain in these type of series, especially when you want to come out in the first game and get the victory. So you can definitely see it. There's a couple of close saves, a couple of missed shots. As we see another one there, that's not going to miss. Ice is going to put that one home and tie it up.
And that's huge from Ice. Once again, a little bit of panic on the defense. Oh, there was actually a team bump from Eddie. Gave Mace a little high five, but you might want to wait until after you guys score a goal to go for that low five there, actually.
Yeah, that's a little bit of miscommunication you see from Genesis, and I think that's one of the things that they can definitely work on. They've been pretty dominant so far in the Novice League, but that communication, especially in the Novice League, that's huge. So if they can cut down on those communication mistakes, they could be looking really good this season. I think the same goes for Acceleration as well, and any other Novice team really has a shot coming out. As long as they keep that communication up, they'll definitely be way better off than the other teams.
And definitely, especially in Novice, the lowest ranked of all the leagues, it often comes down to who can make the fewest mistakes. And you really see that come out. Mace trying to set up a pass play here, though. That's a nice backflip from Trenton, actually. In a really awkward position, but he's able to get a really good touch. And, Trent has been putting a little bit of work. He's looked pretty solid defensively. I don't think he's been that present on offense, but he's really holding it down on the back for them.
Yeah,
I believe. Cool song.
I was gonna say, I believe he's a recent acquisition too to their team, so might be a good pickup. As Acceleration, their only 2 wins have been from forfeits. In the last game, they lost to Diffusion, if I recall it correctly. So I think Trent there could be a good pickup, and he's definitely helping out their team so far.
Definitely, and you can really see it there as Trent's gonna get another touch. Hits the ball off the backboard. That could be a huge opportunity, but Ice is just going to barely miss that one. And now there's a counterattack, but Kiros misses the open net as well. It's just chaos. A lot of missed shots from both teams, which, not too surprising.
Yeah, that's a tough one there from Novices. Mace is trying to get that touch, but you expect the missed shots, but some of them, especially in a league play like this, you got to just connect to them. And, I know Genesis and Acceleration both going to be hitting themselves here as a couple of missed shots.
Definitely, and now once again it comes down to who can just make fewer mistakes as the ball is hovering over the orange net, but still nothing's able to go in. Acceleration seems to have a ton of pressure here, but they're just not making much out of it. Once again, Trent might have cut his teammate off a little bit there, but he's going to set up a good opportunity. Mace is going to come in clutch, though, and first overtime in Game 1.
Heading to overtime. Acceleration, they've really kind of turned it around the last couple of minutes. It's good to see from them. If you're a fan of Acceleration, they've definitely been on the offense, and they're on the offense again. They got to keep doing that. I think that's how you're going to beat a Genesis type of team, is if you can turn the pressure in your favor, because Genesis, they can turn up their offense as well. So if the Acceleration allows them to get out, then it could be dangerous for them. But so far, they're doing a good job of keeping their own pressure.
And definitely, and now it seems almost...
Oh my
God! A huge pinch! That was almost a highlight reel clip, but instead it looked like the ball just turned into boomer mode. Now they are getting more offense, though, as Eddie's setting up a nice center, but no one's there to capitalize on it. Mace gonna get a 50. That's down to Kiros. He should be able to beat the defender here. Gets it past, and now once again it looks like Genesis has found their second win, picking up the pace once again. Ice in my veins gonna get a really awkward touch, but he does well to clear it out no matter. Kiros with a big miss. Mace getting it past the defender. This is a huge opportunity, and he misses the shot. And Trenton gets a nice clear once again, setting that up. And the ball gets out of Acceleration's half once again. And now they're back on the offense. Once again, they just aren't able to make anything happen. Genesis isn't. And it really hasn't looked like they've capitalized on anything since the first minute or so of this game.
Yeah, and that was a huge opportunity you saw from Eddie there off the post. He had the net to shoot at if he could just place it, but he couldn't. And Genesis, they've turned it around. I think it's been pretty much that who's controlling. It's a game of runs right here. Is who can control the pressure, and whoever's been able to control the pressure has looked way more threatening here. And Genesis, they got to get back on that pressure if they're going to want to score one here.
Definitely, and the pressure is one thing, but they also have to hit these open nets. They've got plenty of opportunities. If they can just put one of these shots on, it might not even have to be the best quality shot, but if they can get past the defender, it doesn't really matter. Now Trenton's going to take advantage of a slow rotation. That's a nice demo from Kiros, though. Going to let Eddie take the ball. Eddie on it still, and he does take a shot, but it's going to be a little too slow. Trent's in a good position to save that one. Kiros gets an awkward touch, but Mace will be there to follow it up. Now he's going to try to dribble it downfield, and looks like Eddie's in a really awkward position for this one, but he does get a nice touch. Might be able to get something going, but not quite, as the ball bounces up into the midfield once again. And there's Trent to pick it up, going to dribble down the side. Looking for a bump, actually. He almost gets it, but Mace does really well to avoid and still get a touch on the ball. And now Mace has a little bit of an open net. That's a nice pass, but Eddie was not ready for it. Mace still just looking for a lot of passes. And, you know, some of these pass plays might be a little bit ambitious for Novice, but they are in actually really good spots most of the time.
Yeah, Mace has definitely been that guy. He's the highest MMR on Genesis. He's been looking for these great passes, and so far he's been pretty close. Just need Eddie and Kairos to step up and hit those balls, but Acceleration, they've done a really good job on defense, and they've even turned some pressure of their own. They had a triple commit earlier as a shot coming out could be saved away. They had a little bit of a triple commit, but so far their offense and their defense has been holding on strong, and we're 3 minutes deep in overtime. Both these teams just holding on right now.
And this is definitely an intense overtime. Seems like both teams just a little bit off target. Lots of boomers, lots of whiffs, lots of shots, but nothing's going in the net. And here now, Eddie might have an opportunity, but it looks like Trent might be into the ball. And there he goes, off the ceiling perhaps. Cool Sox coming in. That's a nice beat to the ball, actually. And now Genesis will have an opportunity, but that's a huge shot, and that one will go past. Ice in my veins, puts it right over the defender. It looked like Eddie was right there on the goal line, but he either didn't have enough boost or was just in too awkward of a position to save that. That is a difficult shot to save.
Yeah, that is a very difficult shot to save in Novice, but you got to give credit to Acceleration there. They were able to come out strong in that game, and they put on a lot of pressure right there. They ended up with the higher shot total, as you can see, but you know, Genesis, they had a couple of missed opportunities in that one, and you know, Acceleration, you know, they held on and made him pay, led by Ice there, who's able to take that game, and it was a really crucial first game to take right there.
Definitely, that's a huge mental victory to win. I believe 4+ minutes in overtime, and that's gonna be huge. Genesis definitely had more than a few shots or more than a few chances to capitalize. So you wonder if they can maybe slow the game down a little bit. They can bring it back.
Yeah, you'll have to see. I'm really curious to see how Genesis can come back from this one and how Acceleration can build on top of that. They had a great game in that one, and they did a very solid job to hold on and pull it off. But now I'm trying to see, you know, who's going to come back in this game too and be able to keep it going.
Definitely, and it doesn't look like not a convincing win by any stretch of the imagination. Acceleration did take a nice victory, but it's still only one game, even though it was a 5-minute overtime, only counts as one game, and Genesis only needs one to catch back up. Not sure exactly what we're waiting on in the lobby. Looks like the players are hesitant to join.
Make sure we can get them in here. They're struggling to join. We're gonna have to restart. We're gonna have to restart the lobby here. Right. These guys unable to join, so we're gonna have to restart the lobby real quick. But yeah. I think in that one, I mean, merely, what do you think Genesis is going to have to do to rebound as we head into Game 2?
Honestly, I think if Genesis kind of just slows down a little bit and takes advantage of these shots that they're getting, I definitely think they can pull it back. Like I said, it wasn't a blowout by any means. They had plenty of opportunities. They were just a little bit inaccurate, and you know, inaccuracy is a plague for pretty much all of the leagues. So if you can just slow down and take your shots and build a little bit of confidence, sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, that's definitely true, especially in Novice. You know, you got to make the most of your opportunities, and like you said, I think cutting down on the mistakes is the most crucial thing that either of these two teams can do. So as we head into this one, we'll have to see who's gonna cut down on them and who's gonna be able to capitalize.
Definitely. Okay, and we do have the lobby back up. This is a new lobby, right?
This is a new lobby. We have the lobby back up. So waiting on the teams to join back up. Novice League players, they're gonna custom the stream games, I guess. They don't know that once all the players join, they can just join up in the game. So they're struggling a little bit, but it's all right. We're surviving out here. But as their Ice is just everyone is not in the lobby. Oh my.
Ice, please.
Oh my. This is these guys are struggling out here. We're trying to hold on here as these guys are trying to join back in.
The first step to a comeback or a win at all is joining the lobby properly, which neither team seems to be able to achieve right now. So
No.
Not promising so far.
No, not promising so far as we're trying to get everyone back in. I think we're waiting on one more here as it looks like the game has started again, and we're gonna have to restart one more time. I'm just gonna have to explain to them. Wait. Everyone is in. They're still trying to play it out, but hopefully they realize this is really scuffed by the Novice League players. I don't think they understand how the stream works. So if you're a team in the league and you haven't been on stream before, you gotta wait until everyone is in the lobby. And for the first game, we'll give you the go ahead to join up. Then you can join once we give you the go ahead in the first game. You gotta wait only for the first game. After that, as soon as everyone's in the lobby, you can join up for the second, third, fourth, fifth games, etc. So it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. I don't wanna roast anyone here. It's not that difficult just to wait a sec, wait for everyone to join the lobby, and I even been telling them when to join in the game too. But it's all right. We're getting them back in here.
It's all right.
We're gonna figure it out. But anyways, back to the game here. Acceleration. They were able to take that first victory, and they're looking to keep at it here merely. So getting back to the gameplay, I don't know if I asked you this before, but who do you think is going to come out and take game number 2 here?
You know, it could really go either way. I gotta steady with my prediction. Don't like to go back on my words. So I think if Genesis can get this game, then they can take the series. If they lose this one, it'll be a lot more difficult after a tough OT loss and also going down 0-2. But you never know. As we're gonna go ahead and get game number 2 underway. Let's see what'll happen. Trenton in a super awkward position here. Gonna drop down Ice in my veins. Ice in his veins as he clears the ball and also bumps his teammate on the way out. Sometimes you just gotta give your teammate a little bit of motivation. Once again, another good clear from Trent. Coolsock's gonna try to chase this one down. Gets a nice demo. Ice in your veins. A little bit of a weak hit. Not exactly what you want to see. Coolsock's thinking about turning this one, but he's not gonna bite. And now Coolsock needs to get a good clear here. That's a good first touch, but can he get it again? He does get a touch, but it's not going to go very far now. Genesis will have a chance here. Kiro's going to get a nice dunk, and that's just going to go straight off the backboard. Another team bump from Acceleration, actually. They can't stop high-fiving each other right now.
Yeah, it's the miscommunication there. That's what happens when you're a novice. Usually it's a little bit of rotations, a little bit of mechanics, and consistency, but right now you can see it for Acceleration. You saw it for Genesis as well. The rotations not as clean as they need to be, and teammates just running into each other over and over again, and it's probably cost each of these teams a couple of opportunities for sure.
Definitely, and that was another double commit there, but fortunately Ice in my veins is going to take that under control. He keeps looking for these dribbles, which I actually really like the idea. I don't like the idea of that touch though, as he gives Genesis a free opportunity, but they won't be able to turn it in yet. Coolsock's just an absolute brick wall. Steadies 2 attackers. He's gonna pass back though, and now it's looking like Genesis are getting back. They've kind of had most of the pressure in this game, but still haven't turned anything in yet, and this is still a 0-0 game.
Yeah.
Trent just kind of driving away from the ball there.
Yeah, I was gonna say Genesis they've had their opportunities as well. They had some pressure. It's still though, we see the double commits on that last goal attempt. They had 2 players, I believe it was Mace and Eddie, dive for that ball. And when you're double committing like that, the chance of you getting a goal, they don't double like you would think it would. Usually it ends up being worse off for your team. So gotta crack down on these double commits and find these rotations again for both these teams. As you see another double commit comes out from Acceleration.
Definitely, and a lot of disorganization on both fronts. Now there's nobody in the net, actually, but Ice in my veins still can't put it in. They've had a lot of really good backboard opportunities throughout this game and the last one. but they just keep the inaccuracy keeps haunting them. They will get more opportunities though, most definitely. Trent's gonna take this one downfield. Mace cuts that one off quick though, and that's one thing. Mace has been really good at having this pressure. Now he has an opportunity. Ice in my veins gonna hit the backboard once again. Trent's gonna go under, and now finally it looks like Acceleration are going to get an opportunity. That one almost rolls in, but it bounces off two surfaces to just barely leave the net. And now, you know, everything's kind of back to normal. No capitalization still from both teams. And what do you think they're gonna have to do to find a goal here, Rockerman?
They've just got to hit more accurate shots. It seems like there's been some pressure, but it's just not quite on net. You saw the last one from Acceleration. They just missed it and hit it off in the post. Both these teams have been inaccurate in this game. The double commits, we talked about them already. If they can crack down on those and get their shot accuracy onto the net, they'll be much better off here.
Definitely, and yeah, this inaccuracy, I keep saying it, but it really is true. And there's Kiros with a nice shot. No one is gonna be backing Trent. It looked like he might have had an opportunity to save that, but he also might have been very low boost here. That's a nice little wall shot from Kiros though.
Yeah, and you see Ice in my veins, he cheated up and out of the net there. He kind of passed it out, and instead of staying back to kind of follow his teammate, waiting for Trent to get back, he kind of rotated out and allowed Kairos just to pop that one in with Trent a little bit delayed on it. So Genesis taking the lead here as this ball's awkward in front of their net. And it's going to be saved away, but yeah, Acceleration, a huge misplay there, and you can see it, the mistakes, when they come out, if you can capitalize on them, that's the best thing you can do here in Novice. Limit the mistakes and capitalize on them when they do happen. And so far, Genesis holding on to the lead, but Acceleration, they're back on the offense now.
Yeah, and it is just barely. Acceleration now on the back foot, though. We'll have to see how they play from... As that's a huge shot from Cool Socks. Oh, my lord. He was almost on the ceiling for that one. And that's a big pass from Ice in my veins. Cool Socks must have been spending all day in training for this one. Gets the highlight reel shot. That's huge.
That was a huge goal from Cool Socks. He's able to put it home, just flies up high. No one challenging from Genesis, and perfectly placed in the net. Allows Acceleration to tie this one back up. A great goal that they desperately needed in this one as they look to bring the series to a 2-0 lead for them.
And just as I was saying that Acceleration was on their back foot, they go ahead and put the words right back in my mouth. As now they are looking like they have a little bit more pressure here. Trent with a big opportunity. Actually gets 50 though, not really a shot opportunity. And that's a big pass to Kiros if he can turn it in, but he's gonna pop it over. Maybe another pass. Cool Socks with a nice touch. And Cool Socks has really looked like he's been starting to make a difference for this team here.
Yeah, he's definitely stepped up in these last couple of games, and you know, if he can be solid along with Trent and Ice, I mean, they're looking like a pretty solid team despite the 2 forfeit wins. They could potentially pull off their first actual win here today.
Yeah, and you have to wonder if getting forfeit wins might be working against them actually. As we're now counting down to the final seconds, Mace gonna get a nice touch, but that's probably gonna hit the ground. It's actually still in the air, but will Eddie keep it up? Doesn't look like he wants to risk it.
Yeah, now we got overtime here yet again. Second game with overtime in this series. And Acceleration, they took the last one. It was, I believe, just about 4 minutes in that one. So I expect this one to go a little bit quicker between these two teams, but it's the exact same scoreline as well, 1-1. And we'll have to see who's going to capitalize first.
Yeah, you do have to think that Genesis are going to be wanting to score pretty quickly, you know. As overtime goes longer, it's typically the team with more mental fortitude that's going to end up with the victory. And after losing such a long one before, you have to wonder if that might affect them now. But Trent will pop it up. That, almost a double kick to double commit.
Oh,
but that's
no.
just going to go in. And chaos on the goal line from the defenders. I'm not sure exactly even what happened here. Ice gets a nice touch, and Cool Socks just with a baby touch, but the defenders were not ready for it. Kiros and Mason, absolute discombobulation.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Kairos and Mace were doing on the goal line there. Just complete miscommunication from them. No one wanted to challenge that ball, and it just dropped in the net. A horrible way to lose that game in this one. And I mean, you really just have to wonder what is going on with Genesis right now. They've looked really solid in all their games so far, 3-0, and we mean Acceleration, they're one game away from pulling the upset in this one.
Yeah, and now Genesis on the back foot, 2 OT losses. That's tough, and you have to wonder what do you think that Genesis has to do here in order to try and pull off a reverse sweep?
They just seem out of sorts right now. They're not hitting their shots. They're not communicating well, and they're making a load of mistakes that you don't really see from these guys. I think they got to get back on the offense, get back on the aggression, because right now acceleration is just kind of taking it to them right now. It's been close, 2-1 in both these games, but someone's gotta step up. I'm really looking for Mace to kind of step up in this one. Kairos is also a veteran of Nemesis, so he needs to step up as well. And in this one, we're gonna have to see who's gonna make the stand on Genesis, or is acceleration gonna pull it off and pull off the sweep maybe and the upset as well.
Yes, definitely. It would be an upset win, I believe. But we'll have to see as Cool Socks gets a light touch to midfield. Trent's there to clean up after him, though. Kiro's looking for the catch, but he's actually going to miss it entirely. That ball is going to fly over 2 defenders, though. Ice is a little bit slow. This is a big opportunity early on for Genesis. But Cool Socks does fairly well. That was kind of an unfortunate bump. Almost created an opportunity for Genesis there immediately, as Cool Socks trying to look for another goal. Mace needs to get a good touch here. Gets it midfield, but that kind of just passes to acceleration. And they really have to kind of clean up these defensive mistakes. You saw the worst of them in overtime last time, as that one's just going to go right off the crossbar. Almost another opportunity, but now Eddie doesn't have enough boost to really make anything happen. But Mace is going to be quick to try and get a pass out to his teammate, and that's a nice soft touch. But Cool Socks with a huge read, and now it really looks like Cool Socks is feeling himself. I mean, what do you think they have to do to try and take away a little bit of confidence from acceleration right now, Rockerman?
They have to score first here in this game if they're gonna want to take the confidence back. It's almost a must for them, in my opinion, that they got to score first here, because if they go down again, their confidence is going to be in the drain. This might be almost the worst I've seen Genesis play. I've watched them a couple times, and they are looking really off of their game right now, missing the shots, miscommunication. And they just need to get a goal and get back to what they do. They've been great on offense this entire season so far, so they got to score a goal here quickly and kind of get in Acceleration's head, and maybe a demo or two could help as well. Kind of get these guys off the pitch, because Acceleration's been super fast in this game, and they've been right on top of the ball on multiple occasions. So Genesis got to turn up the speed and got to score first.
Definitely, and maybe just a couple demos to try and tilt or even just disorganize acceleration would be a good idea here, but it looks like they're still playing pretty reserved. You have to wonder if they should maybe be committing not committing harder, but playing a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah, I think they definitely have to play more aggressively if they're going to want to win this one. They have to do something different than they did in the first 2 games, and I think the aggression will definitely help them get back to their pace.
Definitely, they do have quite a bit of pressure here, though. The ball's been stuck in Acceleration's half for a while. That's off the backboard. Ice is not going to be able to get the touch, but neither is the attacker. And now Ice is going to have a counterattack. Just needs to get past one. That's a huge hit, but Kiros is going to get past him. I believe the net is open now, but no one's there to take the shot. Both players look like they just were waiting for the other person to take the shot, but no one actually went to take the shot. Still, though, more opportunities.
Just so many mistakes here from Genesis right now, as they just make mistake after mistake. Eddie had a wide open shot on the net and he missed it. It was a huge miss there, and like I said, they've got to capitalize on these opportunities. Every time they get a ball in the midfield, it's just been so rough of a shot or even a missed shot. They've got to hit these. They've got to hit these if they want to come back.
Definitely, and that one's just gonna lob into the goal. Trent with an absolute heater. Eddie was in an awkward position here. It looked like he wanted to push forward, but he ended up having to hit the ball with no momentum, and he kind of just passes it to Trent. No one there to clean up after his mistake either. Now down by 1. Do you think it is even possible for Genesis to look past this now?
It's definitely possible. They've made a bunch of mistakes so far. That's the one thing they can hang their head on as a shot opportunity, and finally Mace is going to put one in, and maybe, just maybe, that's the confidence they need. It seems like it's been ages since they've had a quality opportunity that they're able to put in, and just a beautiful shot, pass from Kairos right there, and they're able to hit one in the back of the net finally, and they're able to tie it up. So there is some life in Genesis here.
Definitely, and there it is after a lot of misses and missed opportunities off the backboard. Almost another one coming out here from Kiros, but there it is again, and hopefully that's not the only one, because they've really been peppering this backboard, but that's the first time I've really seen them take a lot of advantage off of it. And now an open shot from Ice in My Veins. That's an unfortunate whiff from Genesis. And once again, they're just back to being down by 1. A nice beat from Ice, but Heroes, even though he's in an awkward position, he really has to get a touch there.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in if you're Kairos there, as he's trying to read it off the backboard. You know, especially in Novice, those corners are so hard to read. So a tough read from him on that one. And now Acceleration back in the lead again, looking to pull off the sweep and the upset as they're shooting again. It's off the post, might go in again, and Trent puts it home. And Acceleration now 3-1, only 120 remaining, and they're looking really good right now to pull this upset.
And that's got to be a deadly two-goal lead right there. Off the kickoff, you saw Mace grab the corner boost. He was not expecting the ball to just go right over his head, and then once again, they're just put into a super awkward position on defense. Looks like Mace either has disconnected or maybe gave up. I'm not exactly sure which it is. Okay, he's back. He's back.
It's still though, a minute remaining. Genesis, they have to turn on the offense. They have to turn it on now. They had to turn it on yesterday, as they're just nowhere near in this series right now. Still down 2 goals and 2 games. They just have to sell out right now if they're going to want a chance in this final minute.
And they will. It looks like, you know, the confidence is running out for them, but if they can score really quickly, they still are in this series. They have had opportunities. They just need to, they just need to not do that. As Ice in My Veins gets another goal off a mistake from Genesis.
Huge mistake from Kairos there, just can't find the touch, and this has pretty much been the tail of the tape here in this one, as these teams have just been they've just been going at it back and forth, and Genesis, just so many mistakes in this series. You have to wonder, as Mace left the match here, since it's under 1 minute, we're not going to restart, and they're up by 3. You have to wonder if they're definitely in their heads. It seemed like it at that point, that they were just, Genesis was really just getting in their heads. You know, probably a series that they should have won in this one, and with only 20 seconds left, you know, it's kind of a demoralizer here for them. But I mean, you know, for me merely, I think the one thing, especially as their GM, that I would tell them to hang their heads on is they played all right in this series. The reason they lost this series was so many mistakes. Obviously, Acceleration, they played well here. They capitalized when they needed to, but Genesis, just so many mistakes, and they're easily correctable mistakes too. Mechanical mistakes, you know, those happen sometimes. There's a couple of those, but you know, those things happen on occasion. And you know, for Genesis, they've got to crack down on those rotations a little bit, because they're definitely a really solid team, suffering their first loss here now. But I mean, we got to give credit where it's due. I mean, Acceleration, I mean, really just a dominating performance. They made the most of their opportunities, and you know, they really just took it to Genesis to hand them their first loss this season.
Definitely, and that was a good win for Acceleration. They gotta be feeling good after that one, especially being the somewhat underdogs in this matchup. You have to wonder if Genesis, maybe, you know, they have to be feeling like they deserve this win. And maybe they messed up by feeling like they deserved it before they even went into the series, because they were looking confident, just inaccurate early on into the series. And then you really saw them just kind of fall apart towards the end of it, as Acceleration just kept up the pressure. But overall, still a great win from Acceleration. Definitely going to be looking for them to pop off more in this season.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely have to keep an eye on them as they moved to 3-1. So congratulations to Acceleration on the win. And we are going to be back with our next matchup of the night in just a moment. But I got to give a couple quick shout-outs. C Money coming back with the 6th month. And I believe Cooking Bagels also dropped the 5-month as well. So thank you guys for the resubs. Much appreciated. But we're going to be right back in just a couple minutes. We have our final matchup of the night coming your way. And it's going to be a good one. And you guys do not want to miss it.
I'm cold steel stainless. My glass half full. Always said don't suffer no fools.